Hi, this is Trey Pastor. Welcome to my spoilers review of Godzilla Minus One. Okay, like I said in my other review, my spoiler-free review, this is the movie of the year to me, the best movie that I've seen the whole year. Okay, hands down, without a doubt. I gave it 4 stars. That's an excellent in my 4-star system. Best movie of the year, hands down, without a doubt. And the great thing about this movie is they make you care about the humans in this movie. Normally in these giant monster movies, you don't care about the humans. You just want to see the monster smash stuff and fight each other if there's more than one monster in there, and see the destruction and stuff and see how they get defeated and whatever else happens. And that you don't really care about the humans so much. Okay, but in this story, the writer-director, his name is Takashi Yamazaki. He really did a great job making you invested in the human characters in this movie. And the main character in this movie is a character named Koshi. He's a kamikaze pilot, okay, and his story is basically a story of redemption, and it's like the ending days of World War II, and he kind of lands on an island with his plane. I think the island's called Odo. He lands on that plane, and he tells there's like a crew of mechanics there, and he tells them that his plane was having trouble and stuff. But the pilot, not the pilot, the engineers, who fix the planes, they go, wait a minute. And the guy kind of knows that. He said, listen, there's nothing wrong with your plane. Okay, I know why you probably didn't go on your suicide, kamikaze pilot, suicide mission. You didn't go on that because you basically we're losing the wars. Like I said, towards the ending of World War II, and of course they're losing. So, and again, Koshi, he was scared. To be perfectly honest, he was scared. He was human. He had, he didn't want to die. Okay, and the guy kind of understands it. The head mechanic guy, he kind of understands that and said, "Listen, I understand why you're doing this. Why you kind of bailed out because, it's kind of a lost cause. Fighting for, basically, why sacrifice your life for a dying cause." So he kind of understands him. Okay, and and then after that, that's when we get our first appearance at night. At nighttime, we get our first appearance of Godzilla. Okay, well, he approaches the beach. First, you see all these dead fish. I think it's all these dead fish that come. I don't know if it's because of the radiation or whatever it is, but you see all these dead fish pop up. Okay, and then that's the kind of like the warning signal that Godzilla is coming, and he shows up on that island, and then of course everybody starts panicking and running around, and then the head mechanic, he's telling the pilot, Koshi, to get in his plane, and use your guns on Godzilla, right? And he runs to the plane, but he freezes up, and he doesn't use the guns. He just stays frozen, looking at Godzilla like destroy stuff, and then he kind of gets knocked out, and he wakes up in the morning, and everybody's dead except the one pilot guy who blames him for not acting, even though to me it kind of would be suicide to attack Godzilla, with those guns and stuff, because those guns didn't really affect Godzilla anyway, but the guy froze up. Koshi, he froze up. So he goes back home after that. It's the end of the war, and after the bombs have dropped and Japan is getting, everything's in shambles and stuff. And he goes back to his village, looking for his parents, and he finds out from a neighbor that his parents have died. They died in the bombing and stuff. And of course, the neighbor kind of blames and said, wasn't you a kamikaze pilot? What are you still doing alive? Okay, you're a coward. Basically, she calls him a coward, basically, and he's feeling this guilt for not dying, fulfilling his mission, and also for the people on the beach, those other mechanics that on the beach that died because he didn't act. So he's feeling a tremendous amount of guilt, and that's a really good thing. You feel the human story is what you care about in this movie, and credit to the writer-director for making you invested in these humans. You care what happens to them, and so he's like the guy. We follow this one character, Koshi, around, and him feeling like crap because he didn't act. He was scared. And so he's feeling like crap, and he's trying to rebuild his life in post Japan where everything is wrecked. Okay, and he's going about the town, looking for stuff to eat and all that stuff. And when he comes upon a woman named Norika, she kind of she puts a baby in his arm and runs off. And then later, she meets up later at his house, and he finds out that later that baby's not hers. That some dying woman mother gave her the baby and told her to take care of it. And so they kind of form like this sort of family unit. They're staying in his parents' house, and they're not really married, but they're kind of like a family because it's him and her and the little baby that that they're not related to, but they're taking care of the baby. Okay, and then he gets a job as a mine sweeper. You know, that he goes on a boat to help them sweep the mines up from the war and stuff. And then of course then we get again more Godzilla in this. And the great thing about this, again, like I said, you care about the humans in this story and his story. You care about him and what happens to him. And he's basically he really doesn't want to. Like I said, this girl and the baby got kind of forced on him, and he's not. He's letting them stay with him, but he really is not looking at them like family. Even though his friends, you know, that he works with, they try to tell him, "Listen, you got a family here." You know, they even have a scene with them. They come to his house and they eat with him and all this stuff, and they're telling the guy, saying, "Listen, this is your family," and he's kind of still trying to get away from that. He's still trying to disassociate himself. He doesn't really want to get close to anybody. Okay, and again, it's his story, which is a story to me of redemption, of him trying to, try to find his way back to try to, to be a decent human being again. Because he's feeling all this guilt for not acting. And like I said, Godzilla in this movie is a force of nature. When he shows up, I'm trying to think how many times Godzilla showed up. I think he showed up maybe like 5 times or something like that. But in any event, Godzilla, when he showed up, the destruction they showed, like I said, the budget was only $15 million for this movie, but the destruction he did in this movie was frightening. It's just heartbreaking and frightening in this movie. And it just really, I said, oh my God, they did this on a $15 million budget. And again, but like I said, you care about the humans in this because they come up with a reason. They try to come up with a reason why like the United States would not want to help Japan after, when Godzilla shows up. You think the world will try to help them, but they kind of come up with to me, kind of a flimsy excuse. They're trying to say that like the United States doesn't want to like bring the military over there because they have the Cold War and their beef with the Soviet Union, so they don't want to kind of bring military over there because they don't know how the Soviets would react to that. So that's I guess they're out to not having the United States help. Even though in reality, there was the United States was, I think it was MacArthur, right, who was helping Japan rebuild Japan. They kind of come up with that reason why they wouldn't help Japan when this monster is rampaging all throughout Japan, so, or on his way to Tokyo to rampage throughout all this. But the main thing, like I said, is this guy's his redemption. Him, and finding a way to and helping these people basically, defeat Godzilla is the key to his redemption. He's having nightmares and stuff from what happened from the Godzilla attack, and this girl is trying to help him, trying to tell me why this way. You can see he has PTSD. That's what he has, and and plus the guilt is killing him that he didn't act. And so again, this gives him a shot. Him and his buddies. He has a scientist friend, and the 2 people that he works with on the mine sweeping boat. It's all of them together. They help him, basically find his redemption, okay, and helping him, find a way to, feel better about himself and to actually, be a hero. And to me, it's absolutely fantastic. The special effect when he shows up, I think the second time. Is it the second time? I think it's the second time when he shows up in this little city. It's not when he gets to Tokyo. It's this little city, and he absolutely obliterates everything. I mean, he attacks a train. You can see it in the trailer, I think, where he basically bites a train with his mouth and stuff, and the people running and his atomic breath is just, oh my God! The special effects are absolutely top notch in this movie. It makes you just hold your breath and go, oh my God! He's just a force just a force of evil. He's just not caring about anything. He's just wrecking stuff and leaving, wrecking stuff and leaving. That's all Godzilla's caring about. And they come up with a plan. These not the government, okay? It's these scientists and these military people. They get together, and and our hero, our main character, Koshi, he's one of them. They get together and they come up with this plan to defeat Godzilla. And of course, things don't always work out the way you plan them, okay? But again, and then what I say about redemption, this guy Koshi, he has to go to one of the mechanic that he met on the island in the beginning of the movie, okay, who blames him for everybody dying on the beach, except them two. And he blames him, but he tells him, "I need your help to," because he's planning on basically fulfilling his mission of being a kamikaze pilot, and he's gonna load his plane with a bunch of explosives, and his plan is to drive right down Godzilla's mouth to blow him up. That's his redemption. In my opinion, he's trying to. That's his redemption. He figures he does that. He takes the little girl that he has, because there's a moment early in the movie where the lady that he's living with, where she saves his life literally by pushing him out of the way during one of Godzilla's rampages, and oh my God, she gets swept out. She pushes him like in between two buildings, and she gets wiped out. Okay, so it's only him and the little girl, and he basically takes her to the neighbor and leaves a note with money with him, telling her to take care of the baby, because he's planning on a suicide mission of just driving that plane. His primary mission is to distract Godzilla and to get Godzilla to a certain point in the water before the boats can pull him down. And he's not planning on coming back. He's planning on a suicide mission, because he figures that would be his redemption. Because he feels that he should have died. And there's again another great emotional moment where he breaks down when the girl was trying to ask him, what's your nightmare? What's your nightmare? He's telling her that he should have died. He shouldn't be alive. And she's hugging him and telling him, no, you should be alive. And it's just, again, so many emotional moments in this movie that really just tugs on the heartstring. Like I said, I teared up several times throughout this movie. It's that good. And God, oh my God, it's just fantastic. And like when they actually get Godzilla, and there's a moment, a fantastic moment where they're trying to trap Godzilla, and it fails, and then Godzilla starts heating up. When he heats up his to get ready to shoot his atomic breath, and then everything just goes quiet. Like you don't hear, like there's no sound, so everything is silent, and you see all the people on the boats and stuff. They're like basically praying because they know Godzilla is gonna wipe them out with his atomic breath, and it's all quiet, and it's just so quiet in this, and you go, oh my God, they're gonna get wiped out. And then my man comes with the plane out of nowhere and just rams it down Godzilla's throat. But there's a scene, because you think, of course, that he's gonna do the kamikaze, the suicide mission, just drive it down Godzilla's throat and blow up with the plane. But they show earlier a flashback where the pilot mechanic guy actually told him, here's an eject button on this plane. So he said, live. He said, do what you got to do, but live. Okay. And I just thought, again, so many good emotional moments in this movie that just, oh my God. And then, like I said, we think that the girl that lives with him is dead, because she, like early in the movie, she shoved him in between two movies during one of Godzilla's rampages, and we think she died. Okay. But towards the end of the movie, actually, he ejects and he blows up Godzilla with, basically he blows Godzilla up. But with that plane full of explosives that goes in Godzilla's mouth, and basically it blows Godzilla up. And so then he goes back and he's a hero. Everybody's cheering for him, and he's redeemed. And then his neighbor comes back to him, and she gives him a note, and then he reads it, and then he goes to the hospital, and then he sees the girl that was living with him, Norika. She's alive. She survived. I don't know how she survived, but she survived. She's all bandaged up, but she survived. So he has his little girl, and the woman that, he has his family back. And so that's his redemption. He was a hero, and he got his redemption back. Okay, so I thought that was, again, emotional, heartstrings to you. It just really made you care about the human character. That actor did a fantastic job, because he had several times where he broke down in this movie, and you just felt so bad for him, because he just, the guilt that he's living with, and he's feeling that he shouldn't be alive, and it's just, and then of course he has this ready-made family that he doesn't think he deserves, okay, and it just tugs with the heartstrings. So again, I give this movie 4 stars, an excellent movie of the year to me. It's that good. Special effects, fantastic, especially on that budget, that $15 million budget. It looks absolutely fantastic. And Godzilla, the way they have him move around, it's like he's like he's like a force. And when he heats up that atomic breath, oh my God! I think his second appearance when he I think it's the second, no, it's the third appearance. I think when he wipes out that little city, it's like devastating. The devastation he does. when the girl, especially the girl that Koshi lives with, when you think she dies, that devastation that Godzilla does throughout that city is just, it's heartbreaking to watch. You go, oh my God, he's just it's just, you know, it's incredible what he does to this city. And then that's why, you know, of course they were trying to stop him from getting to Tokyo, because what he did to this little city, imagine what he could do with Tokyo. So, oh my God, it was just hearts. Chef's Kiss, best movie of the year, hands down. And definitely let this guy make another Godzilla movie, because I heard that they said they want to make him do another one. So let him do another one. Okay, definitely. Again, movie of the year to me, in my opinion, 4 stars. Go see it. Anyway, please hit the like and subscribe button. I would truly appreciate it. Also, in the description box, I got links to my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram. Also, I have a link to my other channel, Club Views and Opinions. If you check that out as well. Also, I have a link down below to my Patreon. Again, my Patreon's only $5 a month. I have tons of content on there, unedited content. I got movies on there, DC shows, Marvel shows, Gen V on there. Follow link down below to check it out. Also, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't want to upload new content to this channel. And this is Trey Pastor saying so long. Take care.